The northern lights painted streaks of purple and green across the sky, reflecting in the endless expanse of sparkling snow. Deep within this glistening world lived Blizzy, a fluffy white penguin known for his playful spirit and daring belly slides. Today, under the shimmering Arctic sky, where the aurora danced like a rainbow scarf, Blizzy was practicing his belly slides on a snowy slope, giggling as he spun in circles when a haunting melody echoed across the icy plains. "Torta, do you hear that?" "It's like the ice is singing," Blizzy squeaked, waddling over to his best friend, Torta, the turtle, who was nibbling frozen kelp, his green shell sparkling with frost. Torta tilted his head, his wise eyes narrowing. "That's coming from the sea. Blizzy, sounds like an iceberg with a secret," they said. Just then, a massive, glittering iceberg drifted closer to their village, its surface glowing faintly as the strange song grew louder, like a whale's hum mixed with tinkling bells. Blizzy, with his heart pounding like a drum solo, turned to Torta, his eyes wide. "We have to find out what it is, Torta, an iceberg that sings." Imagine the stories it could tell. Torta nodded, understanding the adventurous spirit that burned brightly in his best friend. They had to know more. So with a determined glint in their eyes, they set off on a mission to unravel the mystery of the singing iceberg. Spotting a massive, glittering iceberg floating toward their village, its surface faintly glowing as the strange song grew louder, like a whale's hum mixed with tinkling bells. Determined to solve the mystery, Blizzy and Torta built a raft from driftwood and ice chunks, with Torta's sturdy shell anchoring the base. "Ready for adventure, Captain?" Blizzy chirped, hopping aboard. "Steady as we go, Blizzy," Torta replied, pushing off into the chilly waves. As they paddled closer, the iceberg's song vibrated the raft, making Blizzy's flippers wiggle. "It's alive," he gasped, nearly tipping them over. Torta steadied the raft, muttering, "It's not alive. Blizzy just loud." But as they neared the iceberg, the churning water grew colder, and Blizzy shivered, pulling his thin scarf tighter around his neck. "Are you sure about that, Torta?" Suddenly, a rogue wave rocked them, and Blizzy lost his balance, splashing into the frigid water. "Help," he squeaked, struggling to keep his head above the waves. But before the icy water could engulf him, Torta dove in, using his strong legs to nudge Blizzy back aboard. Shivering but safe, Blizzy wrapped himself in Torta's kelp, which smelled faintly of fish. "Thanks, Torta," he whispered, feeling grateful for his friend's quick reactions. "You almost had me singing the ocean's sad song, Blizzy," Torta said, chuckling as he paddled them closer to the iceberg. Reaching the iceberg, Blizzy slid up its slippery slopes with a joyous wee, while Torta plopped down and plodded carefully behind. At the top, they stood side by side, gazing at the immense ice formation that loomed before them. Its surface glittered like 1,000 diamonds, and an eerie mist swirled around its base, hiding whatever lay within its depths. Blizzy, always the daredevil, took off down the icy slope, sliding faster and faster until he reached the bottom. "Come on, Torta, it's fun," he shouted, wadding back up to the top. But Torta shook his head, his gaze fixed on a narrow opening hidden in the iceberg's mist. "Something's inside that iceberg, Blizzy, and I think it needs our help," he said, his voice unusually serious. And as if to emphasize his point, a mournful sound echoed from within the ice. "What was that?" Blizzy asked, his playful demeanor fading away, replaced by concern. He knew he couldn't dissuade Torta once he set his mind to something. So instead of arguing, he followed his friend towards the opening in the iceberg. Inside the iceberg, a mystical blue light illuminated the space, revealing a breathtaking sight. A narwhal with a spiraled horn lay trapped, its body entangled in a net of shimmering ice. The creature's horn, usually a symbol of strength and grace, was now encased in ice, its once vibrant, glow-dimmed and lifeless. And that must be why the iceberg was singing, or rather crying. Torta thought, realizing the narwhal's mournful song was a plea for help. "Oh, Dear, Blizzy exclaimed, his heart aching at the sight of the majestic creature trapped in front of them. But how could they help the narwhal without causing more harm? Trapped and alone, the narwhal must have been struggling for hours. Blizzy realized, glancing at Torta, whose gaze was fixed on the ice-jammed horn. An idea sparked in Blizzy's eye, and he whispered his plan to Torta, who considered it with a thoughtful tilt of his head. It's risky, but if it works, we'll have the iceberg serenading us, he said with a small smile. Let's do it. Blizzy dove into the crevasse, his sleek body weaving through tight gaps between the ice formations. Meanwhile, Torta carefully chewed through the tough vines with his strong beak. Almost there, Blizzy, Torta called, his voice echoing through the cavernous space. But suddenly, a large chunk of ice broke off, sending a shower of sparks into the air. Blizzy, watch out, Torta yelled, lunging forward just as the ice was about to land on Blizzy, pinning him beneath its weight. Using his powerful legs, Torta tucked into his protective shell, rolling like a boulder to block the falling ice. Blizzy, stunned but unharmed, watched in awe as Torta, with a determined glint in his eye, nudged the ice away from the crevasse opening, creating enough room for Blizzy to slip out. Thanks, Torta, Blizzy whispered, admiration evident in his voice. We have to hurry, Torta replied, glancing back at the iceberg. Before that ice falls and seals the crevasse, together they raced to free the narwhal's horn. With a final tug, Blizzy felt the ice give way, and the narwhal's horn emerged from its icy prison, sparkling like a freshly polished gem. Overjoyed, Blizzy scrambled out of the crevasse just as Torta wriggled free from under the heavy slab of ice. The freed narwhal, sensing their presence, turned its head slowly, revealing an eye filled with gratitude. With a graceful sweep of its tail, it propelled itself forward, its horn glowing brilliantly as it exited the crevasse. Outside, the narwhal circled Blizzy and Torta, its movements fluid and graceful. Then, as if in response to their earlier wonder, the narwhal swam closer, its horn illuminating the iceberg's interior with a mesmerizing blue-green shimmer. Thank you, friends, the narwhal sang, its voice clear and joyful. I was calling for help, and you heard me. The narwhal, with a final flourish of its tail, disappeared into the depths, leaving Blizzy and Torta in awe of its majestic presence. As they paddled home, the iceberg's song transformed into a gentle lullaby, rippling across the waves. Back in their village, Blizzy and Torta snuggled under a snowy blanket, watching the aurora. We solved the mystery. Torta, Blizzy grinned, flapping his flippers. Torta yawned and saved a friend, Blizzy. Just don't sing like that, iceberg. Please. The village cheered their bravery. And the narwhal's song became a legend, shared under the starry sky. And so the tale of the singing iceberg continued to be told, reminding the Arctic animals of the day a penguin, a turtle, and a narwhal came together to turn a sad song into a joyful tune. Hey, Arctic adventurers, did you love Blizzy and Torta's icy mystery? Hit that subscribe button for more epic adventures. And comment below, what's your favorite Arctic animal? See you on the next quest.